In today's video, I'm going to be stepping away from color theory to talk about meaning. In particular, I'm going to be covering what I think the different levels of meaning are in any painting. The 5 levels of meaning are emotive, iconic, symbolic, personal, and ironic. As I talk about these 5 levels, I'm going to use this painting as an example to show you how these levels can stack on top of each other. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, the first level is the emotive level. It's the most easily accessible and it requires the least amount of thought. This is your gut reaction to the painting. It's a completely emotional level, so you don't need to have a reason or an explanation whatsoever. This is quite simply, how does the painting make you feel? The meaning here is usually a spontaneously self-generated reaction. You can tell when people are speaking about a painting at this level when they say things like, I don't know why, but it makes me feel happy. I put the emotive at my first layer of meaning because it's often impactful and quite immediate. I think the really cool thing about this level is that it transcends cultural boundaries. In the painting that I'm working on in this example, an emotive response could range from there's something uplifting about this piece to there's something disturbing about it, or really any feeling in between. It's all about feeling. The second level is the iconic level. You could also call this the literal level. Using a semiotic interpretation of meaning, the objects in all paintings are signs, at least what Peirce would call here an icon. That's why I call it the iconic level. They are representations which resemble their real-world reference. Another way to say that is the content of the painting at this level is the contents of the painting. Oh, it's flowers in a bowl. I like flower paintings. An interpretation of meaning at this level usually involves an association of the objects in the work to the same or similar objects in the viewer's life. It's usually about a recognition of the objects as elements themselves worthy of appreciation. But there's a more abstract level, and that is the third level, the symbolic. At the symbolic level of semiotic analysis, the objects in the painting are related to real-world reference. However, they're not related in a literal way like at the iconic level. They're related more in a metaphoric way. Importantly, exactly what the objects refer to is completely culturally determined. It's all by convention. Let's take the rose for example. So in the case of the rose, it could be a symbolic representation for love. That's culturally dependent. What an object symbolizes in one culture may not be what the object symbolizes in other cultures. And that's okay. What's really great about this third level, this symbolic level, is that there's no limit to how many symbols can be created from a single object. You have the opportunity here to really stack your meanings. For example, a budding flower could symbolize renewal, whereas a wilting flower might symbolize death. You could interpret the rose in this painting as love, but it's also a symbol of England. In fact, you'll notice that the painting has flowers symbolizing all of the countries of the United Kingdom. The shamrock is the flower of Northern Ireland, the daffodil for Wales, the thistle for Scotland, and the rose for England. The reason why I chose those particular symbols and particular flowers is related to level 4. Level 4 is the personal level. Now this breaks up into 2 distinct areas. The first area is that side that is personal to the artist, and the second is what is personal to the viewer. In the case of this painting, the personal level for me is that I was born in the United Kingdom, and this piece is an homage to the place I was born. What the personal level is for each individual viewer is completely out of my control. That's one of the really great things about art. The viewer can add and alter the artist's meaning by applying the filter of their own experiences. And the last level of meaning is level 5, the ironic level. No matter the subject, the meaning can be interpreted in the opposite way of its intended meaning. Though I don't believe my work has a strong ironic interpretation, there is an element of it. One of the draws of 17th century Dutch still life painting for collectors of that time was to show how inaccessible and rare the elements were in the paintings. The elements in the painting at that time, such as an orange from Spain or a vase from China, were luxury items, and they were inaccessible to all but a wealthy few. The same flowers and fruit and cutlery 300 years later are accessible to nearly all people. And while owning a painting may still be outside of the scope of a lot of people, being in possession of a digital version of that painting is well within the grasp of a lot of people. I should say as a final thought that these are the levels of meaning that I use when I'm designing a painting, and you can certainly add or delete or alter any of these to help you with your own work. So it's emotive, iconic, symbolic, personal, and ironic. Really hope this helps. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next one.